How's your mental health? I'm listening with Solomon Thomas.
The whole situation just hit me really hard. I wasn't really enjoying life anymore. Didn't have that kind of purpose in life anymore. And so when I kind of got to that state in my life, I really realized I needed help, that I really needed to go see a therapist or talk to someone or get professional advice. And after I did that really kind of changed my life and really helped me figure out how to deal with my depression, how to deal with this grief process, and then how to go along my life.
Explore more at imlistening.org.
Oh, thanks, everyone. I have two announcements. First, we didn't use Easy Cater for this meeting, which is why the food never arrived. Also, and I just thought of this, effective immediately, everyone will be paid in wildly volatile cryptocurrency. You're all now billionaires. And now you're broke.
Bad ideas happen when there's no food for the meeting. So make sure it's on time and as ordered from more than 80,000 restaurants. Now, Easy Cater.
You're rich again. And now you're not.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
It's Moose and Maggie on The Fan. Sports Radio 101.9 FM and Sports Radio 66, WFAN and WFAN FM, New York.
It's 12:03. Moose and Maggie with you on this Monday. 877-337-6666. Your number to talk about the Yankees, your number to talk about the Mets. Yankees, I don't know what I'm watching. I'm watching guys at the bottom of the order who are somehow coming through playing this small ball that every Yankee fan has been fantasizing about ever since they traded for Giancarlo Stanton. And then with the Mets, brutal. I mean, you just heard from the doctor from Rothman Orthopedics, and this is it. I mean, this is the 10 days when we're going to see whether or not Jacob deGrom is going to be trending in the right direction. And honestly, even if he does get the all clear, which would be great, and I'll knock on wood for everybody involved, but you know, what does that mean for him for the rest of the season? I mean, just being out there pitching is phenomenal, but can he pitch out there with a clear mind? You know, can he pitch out there and think to himself, I can throw as freely as I was before? Obviously, that would be the better alternative than, you know, other things that we've associated with forearm tightness. So we're taking your calls, of course, and want to get to some fresh sound, though. Moose, a week from tomorrow, Giants training camp opens up. Yeah. And obviously one of the biggest storylines, well, the biggest storyline is definitely Daniel Jones. But of course, connected to Daniel Jones and the offense for the Giants is the health and well-being of Saquon Barkley returning from a torn ACL that he suffered last year in week 2. So Barkley was doing an appearance somewhere, something.
Well,
Okay.
he was at his football camp.
His football camp. Correct. Phenomenal. Thank you. Here he was talking about his timeline.
The 20 of us are looking at your knee as you're running out there.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
How's it feeling?
It feels pretty good. Taking it day by day, trying to get 1% better each day, and getting ready for reporting camp.
Do you know how much Joe's going to let you do?
That's not a conversation we had yet. But just like I said, I think I said before, I'm very blessed and fortunate to have a great team, great staff who's going to listen to me, and we're going to take it day by day and listen to my knee, and whenever that time comes, go at 110%.
What are your expectations for yourself this summer?
My expectations of myself this summer is come out, continue to be a leader, continue to be supportive, whatever I'm able to do, whatever I'm told to do, go at 110%, and eventually get back to playing the sport that I love.
You've been talking also about, like, how much do you expect? Would you like to go out there and play full, or do you think it's maybe in your best interest to kind of play it slow play?
Got to play that by ear, you know. We're coming through rehab. Rehab's never a straight line, so you just got to play that by ear. Listen to your body, listen to your knee, and whatever your body is telling you, go with that.
Okay, so that was Saquon Barkley. It sounded like his camp was fun. People seemed like they were having a good time in the background there.
Yeah.
But
football camp, whatever it might be.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
So here's the one thing. I think this is all pretty standard and pretty fair, and I think that this is a little bit of the Joe Judge now era here. It's a little bit more like Belichick. I think that it's more important for them to not show their hand and not tip off like the Denver Broncos, you know, for your game on September 12th about whether or not Saquon Barkley is going to be available. Like, that seems to be more important than publicly, like, throwing all of this, you know, like, positivity around him and try to play it up. You know, some teams try to play it up. He's going to be ready. He's ahead of schedule. He's this, and it's optimism. I think that this is a new era where they just don't want to tip their hand. The one thing that was just like, a little is when he said rehab's not a straight line. Like, that's true, but I wonder if that means that he did actually have any kind of setback or something that we just don't know about.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I think he's being open. I think he's being honest. I don't know if I buy into the cloudiness or the murkiness of the Giant way. I think he's being real. I don't think he's ahead of schedule. I don't. I think he's. I think he's. There's question whether or not he'll be there week 1.
You don't think that this is a deliberate try to keep things vague?
I don't.
You think there's really a possibility he's not ready week 1?
I think there's a possibility he's not ready week 1.
Interesting. I think we see that different. I think this, to me, seems like classic sort of misdirection.
Yeah, I don't.
Except for that one line, rehab's not a straight line.
Yeah, I don't. Personally, I don't think this is now the Giant way within the organization of trying to outfox the Denver Broncos or keep the NFL, play around with the injuries and keep their next opponent on their, on the back of their heels. I'm not telling you that he's not going to be there week 1. I just think there's a question whether or not he will be. I don't think Saquon Burke, I think everything he's telling you is probably real. I don't, when he says that rehab's not a straight line, I think that is fair from what he has gone through the rehab process. I think that I 3-4 months ago, I would have told you that I thought Saquon Barkley would definitely be there week 1. I think there is a question whether or not he'll be available and be ready week 1 against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I
don't think this is the Giants playing games. And I'm not telling you definitively he won't. Sure. And people might be saying, well, what exactly are you saying? I say it's open for right now. You have to see what the next 6.5, 7 weeks look like for Saquon Barkley. That's all. Before the start of the NFL regular season, I think he's got to make some progression and strides here to be ready for week 1. I don't think the Giants would ever, nor would I think Barkley ever put him out there if he was not 100% and he fully felt confident that the knee was all the way back, coming off what was a significant injury that he suffered last year, early part. I think everybody, even though he is an unbelievable athlete, and Eli Manning joking around about his legs and his thighs, and you see in the beach workouts that everybody heals a little bit differently. I think if Barkley was all the way back and 100%, I think you'd hear Barkley telling you without a shadow. I think he's being a little bit cautious there because I think it's really an unknown right now as we sit here in mid-July of whether or not Barkley will be there week 1.
Well, I don't think he was going to play a preseason game anyway. So like,
I don't think so either.
Right. So it's like, what's the rush and what's the benefit? I'm talking about from like how Joe Judge might be thinking and how Belichick thought for all those years and what Belichick did with Tom Brady on the injury report, like every year, every week, just like throw people off on stuff. But like, I just wonder if they're saying, listen, you're not going to play any preseason anyway. And we control how much the media is going to see from your training camp. Right? Because there's sections that are open to the media. There's sections that aren't open to the media. So we control everything here in terms of what gets out. Why let anyone know? And I do think that's part of it. Listen, maybe, they just want to be cautious. Maybe there's a possibility he doesn't start week 1. I'd be really shocked, though. That's just me. It seems like it's mind games. It seems like it's just trying to send a message to the, just trying to head fake the rest of the league. Doesn't help for fantasy purposes if you're going down that route.
Well, no, I think they're going to be cautious with a commodity that they absolutely love and adore. In Barkley, we know that as an organization that can be a game wrecker and a game changer, catching the ball, receiving the ball, coming out of the backfield. And I think that the rehab. I mean, I don't think the rehab is gone. Everything is not gone and clicked every single time where he has been ahead of the schedule. That's all. I really personally think, Maggie, if he was ahead of the schedule and ready to go, I think Saquon Barkley would be telling you that he is ready to go week 1 of the NFL regular season. I think he's just telling you the way that it is right now. I think he can get there. I don't think that door is closed, but I don't think it's without a little bit of question of whether or not he's there week 1 to start the year.
If there was still a possibility,
I don't think it's the Giants playing games.
But if it was still a possibility of him maybe still getting a contract extension, which obviously would have to be off the table now because he's coming back from a serious injury. If that was still a possibility, I think he'd be talking it up a lot more. But that's just not a possibility. Saquon knows that. The Giants know that.
Yeah, he's got to show himself to be healthy.
Totally.
And be able to stay healthy, for sure.
Let's go to the phones, 877-337-6666. All right, Lito is home. He is showered.
Yes.
He is not jogging anymore, and he has something that he wants to tell me. Lito, what's up?
Yes, guys, thank you for taking my call. So
Okay.
I'm Lito. I've been a 20-plus listener of the Fan from North Jersey originally.
Thank you.
But good thing about first with Barkley, he does work out. I work for an athletic performance company, and he does work out with our facility in Phoenix. So I've been following his training program through our social media application. So he works very hard. He looks pretty healthy, but again, it all depends on game time.
When was the last time he was in Phoenix?
I was going to say probably a month ago.
There you go.
So he's been working out in Phoenix, and we've been seeing his social media within our internal social media postings, and we've been seeing him. So I work for a company that's athletic performance, but I'm in the corporate wellness division. And going to you, Maggie, you don't realize, but you have more than enough time to work out at home. I'm a sports fan, and every half inning in baseball is 3 minutes long. The commercial breaks. What I usually do is get up and do a set of push-ups in those commercial breaks, or a set of squats, or a plank for about 30 seconds, a minute.
Every
pose.
commercial break?
And every commercial break. And at home, I developed a lot of programs for people on the corporate side, and these are tips that I've been giving them who've been very successful doing these things. So you get about 54 minutes a baseball game if you really want to work hard and get those reps in. It's up to you how long you want to do those reps. It could be 30 seconds. It could be a minute in that 3 minutes. But
well, can I tell you what I did last night watching the Yankee Red Sox game during the commercial breaks? I was going back to the kitchen to get more pretzels that I was dipping in peanut butter. So
that's
what
problem.
you're saying. Yeah, right. Okay.
But it does work. If you try that, do me a favor. If you try that one of these games this week, try that and tell Moose how you felt the next day during your show. If you feel any soreness,
Listen,
if you felt,
I'm on the prowl, man. I'll try anything. I'm a desperate person.
Push-ups, sit-ups,
squats.
plank, squats. What else do you do, Leo?
Jumping jacks?
So we got push-ups, sit-ups, planks, lunges. These are things without weight. So if you don't have any equipment in your house, you don't even need equipment. But if you have dumbbells, you can add that load as you go.
What about those bands, Lito? Do you like those bands?
Bands around your hips. If you want to do like bring your legs out to the side while you're doing a plank or things like that. So there's different variations you could do within those commercial breaks. Okay. And listen, and then your rest period is watching the half inning.
Right.
That's a great.
And getting upset.
And then you hope for a long half
And then
inning.
working out all my agita and angst. Yeah. Sit-ups, push-ups, planks. Yep. I'm writing it down.
And like Moose, like you said, you hope for a long inning if you're really fatigued after that one set or whatever you did.
Yeah,
right. Lito,
the immaculate inning is not your friend.
How long were you running earlier today, Lito, for?
I only did 3.5 miles because I kind of I wanted to talk to Maggie while I was running about it, but my Bluetooth wasn't working too good with the outside. As you guys heard, the whole promotion outside.
You didn't have to rearrange your workout
Lito,
for me. That's
good job
kind
by
of
you, Lito.
Sit-ups,
Came home,
push-ups,
showered,
planks,
called the show.
lunges.
That's commitment right
But this is what I do. I like to help people. My clients, appreciate these little things, little tips that I give them. But yes, try that, Maggie. And then I would like to. I'm listening the whole week. If you try, I want to see how you felt after doing a 54-minute commercial break workout and see how it goes.
Sit-ups, push-ups, planks, lunges. What else did I forget? And repeat.
Write it down. Just Google body weight exercises, and every half inning do a set of like 30 seconds.
Lito, are you just
I'll
like
report back.
Like in ripped, Lito?
He looks like Luis Rojas.
I'm not ripped, but I'm a small 5'7" guy who weigh about 172. So I carry a good, decent, lean body mass. But I gotta stay in shape for my clients. This is what I do.
Lito, can you tweet the show? Give us a little flex.
Listen, I'm gonna give you one thing. One time, I got up in the morning, right?
What are we working for here?
So when I do breakfast in the morning for my kids, I flip every pancake. After every pancake flip, I do 10 pushes on the floor.
Oh my
gosh! I'm an accumulator. You accumulate things throughout the day. You don't have to work out, Maggie. Like you're looking to do a workout 2 hours. No, break things down throughout the day. When you get a quick 2 minutes, 3 minutes, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do 20 squats right now.
Yeah.
Up and down from my seat. It works. Trust me. You'll feel it.
All right, Lito, I'm in your hands now. I appreciate that.
Lito.
And I'll report back. I guess I'm doing that tonight.
Inspiration down the
Mets,
Jersey
Reds.
Shore.
Oof.
That's amazing. He's doing push-ups after he flips his kid pancakes in the morning. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean.
That's crazy.
Well,
Good for him.
I guess in my defense.
Setting the right tone for his children.
Just anytime, there's a stop and play.
Well, he just told you. You're watching a game. It's no excuse. In between half innings, go out there and do some calisthenics.
I knew the pretzels was wrong. I knew that was wrong while I was doing it. Maybe that's why I feel so bad today. But the thing is I also do have a child that weighs about 27 pounds, so I'm picking him up a lot.
But here's what I love about Lito. Lito is doing a 3.5 mile run, and he's not listening to music. He's listening to Boost.
How about that? Getting your heart rate up.
3.5 miles.
We're bringing you home.
We're bringing you home. Right. that last half mile. It's hot, humid outside. We're bringing you home. Tampa we go. It's Rick. What's going on, Rick?
Hey, how you doing?
Rick, you got to see some baseball.
Magical weekend. Magical weekend is over. I'm at the airport heading back to Tampa, but I tell you, it was amazing. I told you they play Friday. I told you they were going to play Friday, and they did. We lost, of course, but the game in the rain, that game sucked, but the game in the rain was so magical in so many ways. Cole pitching in the rain, Gary catching a great game. You got to give him props to that.
Good point. Didn't bring that up yet.
Yeah, and so that the young guys come up yesterday. We did everything. The fan out there throwing the stuff. Sitting behind. We got legend seats for like rain games. So I'm behind home plate watching it. Unbelievable. The great thing though is weird thing is that we're there at 6:30 and obviously there's no rain. And I don't know, Yankees with this radar. I don't know what radar they use. We didn't start the game till almost 8 o'clock. We could have played at least an hour in rain-free. And we didn't start till 8, which ended up playing most of the game in the rain.
Yeah.
And which
why
made
did they
it
do that?
extra.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Mets
I can't
and the Yankees
figure it out.
need to
Everybody
upgrade
else.
on their radars. New Doppler. Get the Doppler 12,000.
But this is what I don't understand. Like, even if you're not seeing it rain for a half an hour, 20 minutes, aren't you like, well, let's go? Because there wasn't a window happening later. That's for damn sure.
Just download the app Dark Sky. It's a tremendous app. I just gave him a pop. It basically tells you when it's going to start raining. You have to pay $3.99 for it. The Mets and Yankees should go invest in Dark Sky.
Let me tell you a quick story, real quick. We was the rain game, and we're down. We walked towards where they're practicing a little bit, and I know Glaber. I've told you that before, and I see him out there, and there was a lady and her daughter were sitting there, and they were upset that they weren't letting somebody sign stuff, get her over there. I said, "You watch this. Wait a second." So I'm right at first end at back of first base where they're practicing a little bit, and I'm yelling, Glaber, get his attention, because if he sees me, he'll say, hey, what are you doing up here, blah, blah, blah. So he sees me, and I go, Glaber, what's up, man? He goes, so he's smiling, and so he finishes, and he comes towards the netting. I said, what's up, man? Hey, listen, throw me the ball for this little girl over here. So he throws the ball up, right, over the net, misses. Okay, and then he throws it up again over the thing. He misses. And then he throws it over again. Finally, he gets it. I catch the ball, and I give it to the girl, and I say, Glaber, you're getting a home run tonight. And he hit the home run that night, and he hit one last night. So I got him. I'm taking credit. I got him back on track.
What a flex.
He's like Kismet.
Oh, my God.
Take care.
You're John Cena with that flex.
On the third try, you kept the baseball and didn't give it to the little girl.
That's a high crime in this day and age.
This is my ball. Sorry, go get your own.
An adult that doesn't give the ball to a child, like you might as well just leave society.
Rick,
you're canceled.
Rick, where are the sandwiches? Pete's starving across the way.
Friday, we didn't want him. Today we do.
12:20. Moose and Maggie with you. 877-337-6666. That is your number to call. Later on this hour, a little bit of out to lunch. Pick of the day coming your way, 1 o'clock hour. Got into the Barkley News. Plenty of your calls, Giant calls, Met calls, Yankee calls. We'll touch a little bit upon Game 5 of the NBA Finals as well as the Bucks come back home trying to close out the Phoenix Suns after what was a tremendous Game 5 Saturday night out there in Phoenix. More Moose and Maggie next, right here, the Fan in New York. Malusa's kids are excited. They're opening a Jersey Mike's literally a half a mile from the house.
Oh, nice job.
Yeah, can't wait.
See, that's your exercise, walking to the Jersey Mike's, walking back.
Yes. My son Paul, I went over the Acme grocery store yesterday. He's like, what's that? I go, Jersey Mike's. He's like, it's a good place. I'm like, yeah.
They're a sub above.
Sub sandwich. Fantastic.
The official sub sandwich shop of the New York Yankees. Can't be wrong.
Great.
I do love Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's is awesome. So good luck, everybody. Let's head out to Florham Park, New Jersey. It's Gordon. What's going on, Gordon?
Hi, Mark. Hi, Maggie.
Hey, Gordon.
I thought I had something significant to add on the Barkley injury. And, Mark, I can't agree with you more about what you picked up in that latest segment that you just ran about his trepidation. This is an injury that I went through myself personally. Are
you an NFL running back? Just a question.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I was gonna get to that,
okay.
but
Hello,
Gordon.
I didn't touch it. I said the snarky remark, but I swear I did not drop him.
No, Gordon dropped off. We'll see if we can get Gordon back on.
I promise that was not me. I'm not like that. I
can verify.
I was like that because I said the snarky thing, but I didn't cut him off.
Yeah, let's head out to the Bronx. It's Eddie. What's going on, Eddie?
How are you guys? How are you?
Hey, Eddie.
All right. Great Yankee weekend. Nice beating up them guys. 2 games. Starting with Cole in the rain was just fabulous seeing them out there. They were talking about the pine tar touching the stuff.
Yeah.
His ball was moving like forget. The spin rate was crazy. He really looked good. And then yesterday, another one. Picked up. Listen, they got to go out and play a hot Toronto team. We're sitting nice, I think, at 7 games. Would we want to be closer? Of course. But we're not sitting in bad shape. And Chapman came out and looked good on the mound. He threw that one ball that dropped. It looked like the old Chapman from the beginning of the season. Listen, we had 3 guys in the outfield yesterday that had 12 home runs combined. So
yeah, Eddie, I'm not as positive. You're a positive Pete here on this Monday. You're excited about the Yankees. They take 2 or 3 against Boston. They needed to win the series. They needed to get the second off to a good start. It doesn't look like the way you envision it looking. I got to see more from Aroldis Chapman. Garrett Cole last 2 starts has looked good. He's looked great. Double-digit strikeouts in both those starts against the Stros and the Red Sox, respectively. You're going to need to see more of that. Previous 2 starts against the Mets and the Red Sox was not particularly good. And we'll see if that's just a sign of things when you look at Garrett Cole.
Yeah, and so Boston, they have 3 at Toronto. Then obviously they're back to play the Yankees at Fenway, and then a 4-game set with Toronto. Then they're at Tampa Bay. So this is a tough stretch of their schedule. Also, good point by the caller earlier about Gary Sanchez catching Garrett Cole in horrible conditions. And that was a really good pairing there with the 2 of them. So that's obviously got to make you feel better. When we were talking about the fan who threw the ball at Alex Verdugo and then got banned for life from all MLB ballparks. So we had a couple text messages come through about that. One text from the 908 says, "Hi, Moose and Maggie. They have cameras and pictures in the security office to scan for unwanted fans." So maybe they do have the facial recognition software. And then this text from the 203, Moose and Maggie, at MetLife, if you get escorted out of the stadium during an NFL game, you are banned from any event at MetLife Stadium, and I believe any NFL game overall, until you complete some form of NFL-sponsored sensitivity training, which costs about $500, which the NFL says they donate to charity. They tell you if you're caught attending MetLife, and I believe any NFL game, you'll be charged with criminal trespassing. I've never heard about the sensitivity training. I've never heard of that.
No. I don't know anybody that's ever been banned for life from a particular stadium.
You know me. I don't have an official ban.
Well, not like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's from the owner. That's something, that was said on
No,
the
I never got
radio.
escorted out.
I'm talking about the fact of these kind of incidents.
I like the sensitivity training aspect, though, because, give people a path back to becoming a fan in person. Instead of the ban for life, which I get has to happen and the threat of it, keeps other people from doing knucklehead things. But I kind of like if the sensitivity training thing is true. I love that.
Yeah,
Rehab.
Pathway to get back in. Yeah. Well, hopefully, maybe that avenue opens up for this particular gentleman. Maybe it does.
Apparently, so Brandon Cuddy had an email from a fan who allegedly was sitting nearby the whole incident, who said he witnessed the whole thing. And to that fan, he really believed it was a mistake because the fan was the guy who threw the ball was immediately regretful, sorrowful, and was like, oh my God, what did I do? I mean, that also could just be getting snapped back to reality.
All right, showtime. You ready?
Born ready.
Great. Did you bring the dongle?
What's a dongle?
Never mind. We'll just show them on your laptop.
I was supposed to bring my laptop?
Don't panic. You shared the presentation with me, right?
I forgot.
Well, if you log in, then we can...
My password. I was about to say I forgot my password.
You ordered the food through EasyCater, right?
Yes.
We'll be fine.
Food can make or break a presentation, so make sure you order at EasyCater.com. Individually packaged food delivered right on time. How? EasyCater.
Hey, business owners, what if you could cut all of your business expenses in half? It would be amazing, right? Well, you could start by switching to Spectrum Business. With Spectrum Business, you get the best internet and phone service for half of what you're paying now. Call 855-212-1788 to get faster internet, proven reliability, and the most value. Only with Spectrum Business. Call 855-212-1788 today to switch to Spectrum Business.
Good news, great news, amazing news! The Beauty Brand's annual leader sale is here! Protect that gorgeous do of yours with professional salon products. Save up to 70% on over 200 top brands like Biolage, Redken, Joico, Kenra, and more. Pamper your mane and pamper it good. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. It's leader sale!
Beauty Brand's annual leader sale. All your favorite salon professional shampoos and conditioners starting at just $15.98. Get to your nearest store or visit beautybrands.com.
After being in the thick of it, the crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be throwing anything toward the field anyway. I know they do.
Well, people do that.
I know they do at times, but just uncalled for. Smithtown, we go. Sal, what's going on, Sal?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, Sal.
Mark, I want to ask you who you think the Rays are going to lose on their list to the Kraken. I think it's going to be Blackwell because he had like a career year.
Yeah, it could be Blackwell. They traded Howden, to Vegas over the weekend. They picked up, Barclay Goodrow from Tampa Bay. Well, his rights. He's going to be a pending unrestracted free agent to see exactly if they can sign him before free agency begins. Yeah, I mean, the list that you're looking at, Blackwell, D'Angelo, DiGiuseppe, Brendan Smith, Kincaid. Yeah, I'd probably say the most attractive person on that list. I mean, Julien Gauthier is not a bad name that they just signed to a one-year deal as well. Could also be a name that Seattle picks up too.
Yeah, Maggie, I got a hint for you as far as your workout routine.
Yeah,
I have a 55-inch TV in my man cave in the basement. Okay, and what I do is you take a component cable from your cable box to that big TV, and then you take the HDMI and you drill a hole in the wall, and you go into the back and you put a 19-inch on the wall in the next room with your treadmill in front of it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And it's one cable box. So big deal. Two channels are on the same TV at the same time, but you're only paying for one box, and you're getting two outlets.
There you go.
Do I look like the kind of person who would drill a hole through a wall? Do I give off that vibe? My husband's extremely handy.
Yeah.
It's great marrying someone handy. It's really awesome. But no, I'm not I wouldn't drill a hole through the wall.
Right, but Andy's handy. Andy could do that.
Andy is handy.
Yeah, Andy is handy. Yes.
Um,
KP, Bronx.
I
What's
love
going
this
on,
radio
KP?
station for this reason. KP, how are you?
Hey, guys. Great show. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it, KP.
So I just wanted to call in because I heard Moose mention that he doesn't know anybody who's banned from a professional sports stadium, and different reasons for me. I did not interrupt anything in the field of play, and I think that's totally wrong, and you should be banned for life for that. But I will say I am banned for life from Yankee Stadium.
Why is that?
I got banned in 2018, and for me it was because they have the section behind home plate, that legend section that's separated from the rest of the field by the concrete moat where they have the races and everything. So I was sneaking down into that section. My actual seats weren't there, but I was sneaking down into there and getting in the background of the TV picture. And they warned me once, and I did it again. And in fairness to the Yankees, they did give me a warning.
Wait. When you got on TV, were you doing something that maybe we would have remembered? Were you did you do something memorable?
Maybe. I was wearing a bright neon-colored shirt with
what?
Letters about that day's game or about the opposing players. I had done it for a bunch of games, especially in 2018, and I think, getting away with it a bunch of times and not getting caught, that success went to my head, and, it was...
Wait, so you were wearing a bright neon shirt that would say things about the opponent of the game, and you did this several times? I feel like this is ringing a bell.
Yeah, and I think, again, in fairness to the Yankees, I think doing that, wearing the bright colored shirt, and I was posting that on social media, that was... a step beyond.
My thing, so you get
you were
banned from
celebrating
stadium. Were you going into were you having the wedding food, KP, or no?
I did have some of the food as well. So, I'm not calling up to 7 minutes in. I
Right,
deserve
so you were
what I
right.
got.
So you're going out there. You snuck into a section. We're going out there having the food and drink and enjoying yourselves. But KP, have you ever tried to buy seats again and were denied entrance into the stadium?
I have not. No, they went through the logistics of how this works when I got banned. So, I'm still a Yankees fan, and I would love to get unbanned someday. I do miss going to the stadium, so I've tried to do my time and be well behaved and not get caught again.
Well, is there a pathway? Did they talk about, can you do like sensitivity training like we were talking about previously? Is there a way for you to get back into the good graces, or are you done?
They didn't offer me anything like that, so I don't know if there is a path to reinstatement. So it was interesting to hear about the NFL having that. There's a precedent of people who are banned from baseball getting unbanned, right? I mean, A-Rod was persona non grata.
It's a little different. A little bit different. Yes, Steinbrenner, a little bit different. Also, for Steinbrenner, the crimes were a little bit more heavy. But so, do you regret what you did? If you could go back, KP, would you never wear the neon shirt and try to get on TV?
I mean, I would be willing to do whatever it took to get accepted back, for sure. I mean, I miss going there, and I mean, it wasn't the players who banned me, so I'm still fully a Yankees fan. And yeah, I mean, it's been 3 years at this point. Hopefully, at some point, it was Lon Trost who banned me. Hopefully, he either at some point is willing to forgive me, or maybe he's replaced by somebody else in the future, and they're more amenable to letting me back in if I get a season ticket package or something. I don't know.
He's not going anywhere. Wait, we think we may have found an image of you.
Found it. Yeah, Dozier's Streak Ends Today.
Is that you?
That's me. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, that's what
you got the neon
and
hat on.
I mean, that was on Sports Center, so how could I not keep doing it? It was a blast, but it was happening. I mean, do I regret it? I regret that I pushed it too far, but it was also a once-in-a-lifetime experience that, I do feel grateful to have had. And I will say also,
you don't regret a damn thing. You loved it. You got your 15 minutes of fame. You got on Sports Center.
I don't know. Now you can't go to a game ever the rest of your life. How old are you, KP?
I'm 34 now.
So the rest of your life you can't go to another Yankee game.
It's a high price to pay.
That's a
for
very
15 minutes.
that is a high price to pay for 15 minutes of fame.
But he said YOLO. I mean, the thrill, Moose.
Yeah, but you can't go to a game.
About it, and I was naive to think this, but part of what I was thinking at the time was the reason this worked at Yankee Stadium, and this would not work in Fenway, this would not work at most stadiums, is because those seats are usually empty,
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was taking somebody's seat.
If you're trying to get back into the good graces of the Yankees, I wouldn't keep bringing that up.
No, you're right. You're right.
Well, you were warned as well. You were warned as well.
That's why he's taking his
medicine. We've all snuck
medicine.
into sections that we didn't belong. I mean, we've all done that going to games when you're growing up.
Yeah, but this takes it a step further when you go for the free food.
Yeah, of course, yes. Well, I mean, the moat seats have been the moat seats. They've been half empty majority of the time.
It's true. I mean, the Yankees were not in the wrong.
So, KP, power of the airwaves. We'll give you 10 seconds. Your best apology to the New York Yankees. Maybe they'll hear this and have a change of heart.
Well, I'm a Yankees fan for life. I've remained loyal and intend to remain loyal. I think I was naive in my thinking at the time that, raising outrage about empty seats was like a righteous cause, because it was a cause. It wasn't a cause. It was self-benefiting for me to be enjoying those seats and enjoying the games and enjoying the food as much as I thought I was maybe raising awareness about, something that I wanted to make a difference with. I learned my lesson. I paid restitution to the Yankees. I have not, violated my ban over the past 3 years.
Right.
And I would just hope that, they would give me a second chance.
Do you
and
miss
welcome
it?
back
KP, do you miss it, KP?
I do miss it. I miss it a lot, for sure. I've gone to a lot of away games, which has been a nice silver lining. It's given me an excuse to, go see the Yankees at all the other ballparks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss it, of course.
Man.
Well, KP, the Yankees just called and said it'll be a cold day in hell until you ever see a foot in Yankee Stadium.
Oh, keep hope alive, Moose.
KP, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Some benevolent person at the Yankees had to have heard that. That seemed real.
It said, bag it. Take you in your neon shirt. Go wear it at away games.
He was just
you got
a young
enough
man
lobster tail on us for free.
He was a young man of 31.
No, he's 34.
No, but when he did it, he was 31.
Yeah, he got banned for life for 15 minutes of fame. He was on Sports Center.
If he'll pay for those seats now, then he'll let it back in.
If you buy a legend seat. Actually, you got to buy a 4-pack.
One more before break. Kristen, Tuxedo, New York. What's up, Kristen?
Hi. So I was banned from the old Giant Stadium for partying too hard while tailgating and being in the stadium and getting a little too intoxicated. They put me in the pig pen of, the bad people at Giant Stadium. So I had to write a letter of apology and pay a fine to be in order allowed back unless I would be called trespassing.
Wow. How much was the fine?
I believe it was like $500.
Okay. But no sensitivity training?
No training. This was back in 2015.
Okay. So they caught you in the parking lot? Did you even make it into the stadium that day?
No, I was in the stadium, but I partied too hard in the parking lot. By the time I got into the stadium.
You had no idea where you were or what was going on.
What led, did you pass that? Like, what were you screaming and stuff? What, led to the ban, Chris?
I actually, when I was walking out of my seats, I threw up.
Oh.
Very embarrassing, and they caught me right away. And I was underage at the time, too.
Wait, I have a question. Was this a 1 o'clock game or Monday night? Or
It was probably a 1 or 4 o'clock game.
Hardcore.
It was against the Green Bay Packers. I do remember that because there was a lot.
You remember who they were
partying.
playing? That's it.
Kristen, when you hurled.
And I just remember my dad not being happy with me because, of course, they were his season tickets, and he had to, walk me out of the game and everything.
Oh my gosh!
Kristen,
and
when you
parents.
hurled, did you hit anybody or was it on the stairs?
No, it was just on the ground. Luckily,
Yeah, but there's a
Thank
splash. There's a splash factor.
It would have been worse if you puked on the person in front of you.
Definitely got
that
on
would've
someone's
been bad.
shoes. So you're allowed back now.
I'm allowed back now.
Good.
Yes,
And have you since partied in the parking lot and gone back into a game?
I have, but I've learned my lesson to not go too hard.
There you go. Water.
Good for you, Kristen.
Water is your
Look at
friend.
that. Yeah, you got to eat properly before a football game.
Got to hydrate. Eat, hydrate.
I'm surprised for a public. Well, she was underage as well.
Yeah,
Public
that's a rough
intoxication, Giant Stadium. You get banned. You have to pay a $500 fine, and you get banned. You have to write a letter in order to get back in.
I think that's a punishment that fits the crime. Well, the underage part we're just going to gloss over for a second. She was with her parents, but that doesn't make it right. But still, I think writing a letter and paying $500, that seems like the punishment to fit the crime. No?
Yeah, going to Giant games when I was a kid, we'd sit in the same section all the time, right? A family member had Giant season tickets, and we'd go, see Giants Washington every single year, see, whatever it might be. A few games every single season. We'd sit in the same area, and the guys would be passing around like a Jack Daniels bottle watching the game, taking slugs of it. Not me. I was like 12 years old. I was like, I'll take a popcorn and a soda.
Who's not sneaking a little sip?
It's amazing. Like, they'd sneak it in their pants. It was just crazy. It's just crazy. But Kristen got in. KP, I don't know if KP may never see a Yankee game at Yankee Stadium.
After you buried him, he's not going to. We could have helped this guy.
I'm just being, they provided him no pathway. Kristen, there was a pathway.
There was a pathway.
Pay the fine, write a letter of apology. Kristen's back into the good graces. KP, they basically kicked him out.
Also, what
with
Kristen
his neon
did,
shirt and hat and all.
What Kristen did is something that happens 50 times a game. Someone gets too drunk and pukes. That happens all the time at football games. What KP did is a lot more involved.
Haven't had a chance to scroll through your Twitter or Facebook in the past 10 minutes? Or are you currently too busy in a YouTube binge staring at animals playing tricks on their owners' kids? Don't stop what you're doing. We got you covered with the latest trends on Out to Lunch with Pete Hoffman.
All right, well, apparently we need a special guest in our version of Out to Lunch today. It's not just Pete Hoffman. He's requested that Chris Lopresti come in and join this conversation. Hi, CeeLo.
Hi, how we doing today?
We're doing great.
Awesome.
We're not sure why you're here.
So I'm not fully sure. Pete's going to tell us.
I brought CeeLo in because, Maggie, you're always asking.
Yeah.
This morning on the morning show, they brought up some stuff from the weekend with Kim Jones. She had a caller. It was a little crazy, a little outrageous. I'll give you a little taste. It was. I'm not even sure the caller's name.
I think it was Kathleen.
Was it Kathleen?
Or Kathy?
Yeah. Kathy, about her bunny that unfortunately passed away, and it was just a bad situation and the awkwardness of some things that can happen on air.
Bunnies don't live very long?
No, I can't tell you how many times. Like I've gone into a room and seen my bunny lying on its side dead.
Oh my God!
I didn't realize that.
Morbid.
Yeah,
But I don't think
Sometimes
that's true.
Well, for Kathy, yes. She's had like 9 dead bunnies she's found.
Yeah, maybe we should do a little investigation into that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the bunnies, it's Kathy.
Very suspicious.
Yeah.
You hit it on the nose, Hoff.
So I brought in CeeLo because Maggie's always asking the mastermind behind a lot of this audio where we find it from.
Who keeps it? I want to know who's cutting it and keeping it.
There's been a few people, but CeeLo happens to know a lot more about this than I do.
The secret files.
I would say this. Long ago when we were in Astoria, there was a special folder where this would talk to sort of the generic place where you would drop things in. You know, pay for 24-hour radio station. Things pop up from time to time, different people working. So it was sort of a community, a place for everyone to come to and
Yes.
enjoy.
A community blooper file
And then
for everyone to laugh at.
I would say the captain of that for a long time was Greg Giannotti. When he was still working as a producer for Joe and Evan on the weekends, so on and so forth. When he left and went to Pittsburgh to pursue his on-air hosting career, I won't say that
He bequeathed it to you.
Maybe not
Well, Lou
directly.
Zambrana did a lot of it, too.
But he also did a lot of
montages.
Yeah, and sort of messing with the audio clips to make them sound more than they were.
Sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of
they
times.
put them to
yes,
audio.
Yes, yes.
Very
So there have been a variety of people over years. But once I started working here, I took such an interest in it that I started to sort of build my own collection. So I would, cherry pick and choose things from people and make sure I had it in my folder so I
Right.
knew where to
Easy
access with it
yeah.
to have fun with it. So just over the years, I think I've had so
How
many.
big is this folder?
It's gotten pretty large to the point where I was looking for one when I got in that Gio referenced this morning, and it took me like a good 5-10 minutes to find it because I didn't have it labeled properly. That's the other
Gotta
key.
label.
You've got to label it properly.
There you go.
So
Need
that
a
if you're
system.
going back to look for it or someone else wants to find it, that's the key. People know now over the years, say, hey, where do you have that saved?
Gotcha.
Because they can go and find it in my own folder. Because we've spent so much time over the years out in the newsroom, just, you get a few minutes and you play some old clips and you laugh top of your lungs.
Oh, they're
and
amazing.
People love it.
Okay, so we know Moose has got the, they
the
played it this
Nadine in the
morning.
Bronx call.
Yeah, that's an all-time.
And Chris felt very insulted, I have
Where
to
would
say
you put that?
No,
Top?
I didn't feel
Why
insulted.
Why do you feel insulted?
Not insulted. I
Well,
said,
very
I
insulted,
said
I
the
heard.
word I used in caps was devastated that I was not here to see it take place
Right,
live.
because you've been like the babysitter of this clip for a
he's
really
been-
long
well,
time.
he's been pushing for it.
Gio and I have
CeeLo's been
multiple
pushing for it.
times
Well,
tried to
I'm
get
kinda-
that played on the air.
I'm upset because I'm like, listen, if we're playing Moose's greatest hits, why aren't we playing it on the Moose and Maggie show? Why are we giving it to the morning show?
Well, because it happened 10 years ago.
It was 10 years ago. It was on an overnight.
Right, and Gio and
It
I
doesn't
have,
make it any less funny.
Gio and I have celebrated that clip for so many years now off the air and had so
I
many
swear.
laughs about it and brought so many other people into. You
Well,
got to share it and bring everybody in on it so everyone can
I don't think there's a
revel in the
clip
fun.
downloaded to more people's phones that have worked here at WFAN than that clip of
Just
me and
at the ready.
Nadine at
We get a
2:45
little
in
bit
the
of it?
morning 10 years ago.
Here's the clip that we're referencing to if
Yeah.
you didn't hear it on the morning
Yeah.
show today.
Nadine, what was your mother's name?
Marilyn.
Marilyn. I'm sure thoughts and prayers go out to you, Nadine. All right.
Yeah, they're going to be cremated. Well, my father was cremated 2 years ago. My mother's being cremated today, and they're going to be throwing the ashes out into the ocean.
Well, hang in there.
What? What's the matter?
No, Russell just said something in my phone. I said, "Hang in there, hang in there, Nadine."
Yeah. But they'll be together in the water.
Here it is.
So terrible. You know?
Oh my God. The dead eye.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
I just couldn't stop
Nadine, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. Nothing. Russell just said something in my ear that is totally out of line. So he just was cracking a joke on the Red Sox. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Nadine, hang in there.
That was one.
Thank you.
All right, be well.
Well, if we find out today, I've never knew this
2:41
before.
in the a.m. Russell, I'm gonna kill you. I really am. I'm gonna absolutely kill you.
Throw Russell under the bus who did nothing.
Russell did nothing. We found that out today.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, you did know that. I thought that had never been revealed before.
No, that was clear as day.
That was clear.
I mean, I'm
Just
sure
the
they
back
were
of the
both
bus.
laughing along, but there's no way there was
no
a
way, Russ.
Washington football team joke in Mrs. headset in the middle of Nadine talking about how her mom died and they're going to cremate her. You know?
I couldn't stop laughing. Nadine, God bless her. I
yes,
was
of
saying
course.
cremated.
We feel terrible
that they're
for
going to be
Nadine,
together
yes.
in the ocean.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I just, if you're working the overnight, you
Right,
start
you're
to get
delirious to
punchy.
begin with, yeah.
I just, I couldn't stop laughing. Said that couldn't stop laughing. But I knew that it'd taken on a level, and this is God's honest truth. So Don and I are at CeeLo's wedding, right? So, and beautiful spot. It was at
the Pleasantdale Chateau.
Oh my
in West
God!
Orange,
It was
New Jersey.
just a beautiful spot, right? So we're there and we're enjoying the night and whatever, open bar cocktail hour. And I see, Ernie Acosta and, BSing with him a little bit and Donna and having a good time having drinks. And Ernie's like, Donna, you got to hear this.
Oh, gosh.
Basically goes to his phone and starts to play it. That Nadine call must have been played about 12 times at the wedding. Like, we're doing shots. Donna's crying. Donna has Ernie email it to her.
No wonder you guys were in such a good mood at
phone.
the wedding.
I've heard it over and over again at the house. Like, I've heard that call time and time again. Like, Donna was literally crying when she
played
listened
it for
to
your boys yet?
Oh, my. No, not for the boys yet. No.
That day will come.
It's actually, instead of a first dance, CeeLo and his wife just played the call.
I was like, Ernie, he's like, she has to hear it.
Oh.
It's just amazing.
It's an all-timer.
It is.
It really is. He's actually responsible for two of them. There's another one that we couldn't even play on the air. Hopefully someday digitally we'll be able to bring that to the masses.
Sheesh.
Oh, yeah.
WFN After Dark?
Which one was that one?
Where you had one guy come on and curse, and you dumped him and went right to the next call, and the next guy cursed. And you just again, didn't know where else to go.
Was it
Nowhere else to go. No.
Oh, man.
There's nowhere else to go. That's
so
right.
good. So good. We love when things get awkward on the air. That's what we live for.
That's right.
So now, CeeLo, we need to find a depth of Maggie. We need to find some
I gotta
bloopers
be
on
back
Maggie.
there.
See, now I'll pay you this compliment. I'm not saying there aren't ones that exist, but nothing that's come back to my table. I've got nothing in my folder.
That is a load of crap.
Maggie Gray outtakes. So I guess I'll have to start keeping a closer ear for that.
I'm sure they exist because I do know.
You can read
I
do
know
they
because
just haven't been brought to my attention.
CeeLo hasn't gotten the text or the email.
It doesn't exist in my subfolder here on the WFAN
Because I'm dying
server.
to know what people are making fun of me about behind my back. Because it just happens.
I have screw-ups of myself in there where I've made an ass out of myself.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear your screw-ups.
Oh,
I want to
God.
hear mine.
Yeah.
Because they're amazing.
I've got one where I couldn't play it on the air of myself, where a little hot mic situation that.
Look at you, Brody Van Wagen and LaFresti.
It was after midnight, so I think I was in the clear.
Is that how the FCC works? Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Very cool.
I think so. I never heard about it, so that was a good thing. Never heard about it from management, and there was no fine, so I think I'm in the clear. And the statute of limitations has expired because that's about 10 years ago now too. Yeah.
Is there anything else we can play? Got anything
No.
else?
I think that's
You got
it,
any more
Brian.
Moose hot takes? Hot clips?
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
I'll find some more for tomorrow.
Yeah.
CeeLo, thank you, brother.
Oh, good to be here.
You got it. Pete, we'll get to your review of Pig in the 1 o'clock hour, right? Because we're flat out of time.
Pins and needles for this
That's
one.
it. I know. I've heard good things. Won't ruin it, but heard good things. Really did. Amazingly enough, Nick Cage back.
Pig's a good movie. True story?
We've hit one. We'll come back. Do a little reset. Talk a little Mets. Talk a little Yankees. Get back to your calls. Pick of the day coming your way in the 1 o'clock hour as well. It's Moose and Maggie with you, the Fan in New York.
Oh, thanks, everyone. I have two announcements. First, we didn't use Easy Cater for this meeting, which is why the food never arrived. Also, and I just thought of this, effective immediately, everyone will be paid in wildly volatile cryptocurrency. You're all now billionaires. And now you're broke.
Bad ideas happen when there's no food for the meeting. So make sure it's on time and as ordered from more than 80,000 restaurants. Now, Easy Cater.
You're rich again. And now you're not.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
Hey, I'm Peter Bukowski, host of the Locked On Today podcast. Trying to stay on top of every big story in sports is a full-time job. I know, because it is my full-time job. But it's not yours. That's why we have a network of local experts ready to give you the inside scoop on everything you truly need to know in the sports world. And we do it every day to make sure you're always caught up on the latest and greatest in sports. Listen to the Locked On Today podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts.